Charlottesville is America, and this notion that the things that happen here in Charlottesville could not happen anywhere else is absolutely false. I was on the street that day. As the group turned the corner, that's when the car plunged through. I saw a shoe fly up into the air. This is how trauma works. You get these images locked in your brain.
This is 4th and Water Street, which was the point of impact for the terrorist car attack. It came roaring down here in a Dodge Charger, hit more than 24 people here, among them Heather Heyer, who died.
Having white supremacists and Nazis marching in downtown was not surprising for many people, especially people of color who have been standing up and having these tough conversations about the racism that exists in Charlottesville for decades.
White supremacy did not start with Trump. White supremacy did not start with the day that I met the local white supremacists in Charlottesville.
So the Jackson statue was put up in 1921, just a few months after the Klan had its inaugural rally up at Monticello. So this is Court Square. And so anyone that would be approaching the courthouse would have to pass by this Confederate general who attempted to overthrow the United States Constitution, whose cause was to maintain slavery. You have to walk past the Jackson statue, past the Johnny Reb statue, and into the court. And so if you're African American, you know.
Yeah.
You feel like you're not going to get justice.
The legacy of racial terror, from colonialism to enslavement of Black people to the 1920s legacy of Klan terror in Charlottesville to pushing Black people out of the downtown neighborhoods.
It's bigger than just white people not liking Black people. There are bigger structures that cause this stratified inequality, and honestly, it looks like the wealth gap that's talked about so much in Charlottesville. It's easier to talk about Nazis and tiki torches than to talk about structural things that have existed for so long.
It takes very little to scratch the surface or to peel back a thin layer of history to see a rife and aggressive and virulent strain of white supremacy. And that is what we are facing.
But what we're asking for is that people try to tear down these systems that perpetuate racism. We want economic equity, not equality. You know, equality looks like giving everyone the same thing, but we need equity to level the playing field. I think people of color really want equity. They really want more job opportunities, affordable housing, places for Black businesses and businesses of color to thrive. These are things that have been erased in Charlottesville over and over again. And so I think real change looks like putting your resources and your time and energy and backing people of color who have been marginalized over and over again.
My hope is that the community will continue to do as it has here in Charlottesville and in other places around the world, to stand up and say no to white supremacy, to recognize it, to not be afraid to say the words white supremacy, to not be afraid to say the words racism, to not be afraid to use the real terms rather than the euphemisms. This is not racially charged. It's racist. This is not racially biased. This is white supremacy.
Our work is bigger than just fighting Nazis. We don't organize all year just for August 12th. Like, we're showing up at city council constantly. We're showing up at board meetings. This work is multifaceted, and there are so many things that are being done behind the scenes that you wouldn't know. So when people tell us to stop protesting or go home, we can go home, but we're still gonna be organizing from home. Like, you know, there's no stopping this movement that has started, especially with young people, and we're not going anywhere. And so I think that people should just really join the fight or get out the way.